Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl Froch, aka the Cobra, former unified super middleweight world boxing champion and international boxing Hall of Famer. Don't know why I got the bicep out there, it just felt right. Anyway, I'm coming to you live from Cobra Casa. You've seen that backdrop before. I'm here in sunny Marbella in Spain for the Easter break. Kids are off school. Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, everybody, by the way. I'm not going to give a speech. Same as the King. The King can't give us a speech. I'm not going to give us a speech. But happy Easter. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, have a fabulous day. I hope the sun's shining for you, like it is for me. Anyway, I'm wired in to tell you about the Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder fight last night at a packed O2 arena. I boxed in myself against Mikel Kester in a rematch. Chisora's been there a few times. 20,000, packed stadium, packed arena, should I say. And I quite enjoyed the fight. I mean, it was scrappy and it was messy early on, but it was quite an enjoyable fight. At times, I was on the edge of my seat thinking Wilder's going to land one of them big bombs. They do say the last thing to go in an aging fighter is the power. And in Deontay Wilder's last couple of losses, he's not seemed to have had that power, has he? He seemed to have lost the power. But last night, he showed flashes of his old best. A couple of his right hands were connecting. But let's get straight into the fight, actually. Round one, Derek Chisora came out and he was trying to get on Deontay Wilder's chest. That's what he does. He closes the gap, gets close, creeps in with his feet, ducking low, having a look, and he looks for that overhand right. Or when he's close to his opponent, he'll work the body shots. He'll get momentum. He'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 around the body, then bring him upstairs and loop over a big overhand right. And it's worked for him in the past. He's done some damage against opponents and won fights that you don't think he's going to win. I mean, has he lost 12, 13 fights? That was his 50th fight. It was also Wilder's 50th fight. So combined, 100 fights. Wilder's 40 years old. Derek Chisora's 42 years old. Really and truly, neither of these men really should be in the ring for much longer. I think Chisora said this was his last fight. He wanted the bullseye. He wanted the 50 fights, and then he's going to retire. Even though in the post-fight presser, he didn't officially retire. He just pulled a little smirk and says, oh, we'll see. So we might see him again. If I'm honest, I hope we don't. I think he's taken enough punishment. He's been knocked out a few times. David Haye knocked him out a few years ago. He's been in there with Ajit Kabiel. He's been there with Tyson Fury 3 times. Dillian Whyte done him. I mean, he's given us such a good amount of fights. He's been such a good service to boxing, professional boxing. He's been brilliant, let's be honest. Del Boy. And we all love him. The crowd loved him. The crowd got behind him. But last night, I think there was points when I thought to myself, stop hitting him. I wanted Wilder to stop hitting him because he was teeing off on him at stages. When Chisora was against the ropes in round 8, he was getting hit with far too many. But anyway, round 1 came out. They came together. It was messy. It was horrible. Wilder was holding on. Chisora was leading on him. At one stage, I think was it round 1 or round 2? Chisora's cornerman jumped in the ring. He didn't cause any aggro, but he shouldn't be getting in the ring as a licensed cornerman. And it's can be an immediate disqualification. So if the referee was, I mean, he would have been having a bad day if he disqualified it in round 1, let's be honest. But his cornerman came in and got between Chisora and Wilder and put his arms between them. It's like, what are you doing? Get out of the fucking ring. You shouldn't be in there. The referee sorted it, got him out, and then I think the bell shortly came after that. So that calmed everything down. But that just shows how messy the fight was. They came together, there was scrappy, there was holding, there was leaning on each other, there was punching each other in the back of the head. Chisora was trying to stamp his authority and make the fight messy and make it hard and brutal and tiring, which he did quite a good job of. But obviously he didn't get his own way in the end. But Wilder, for me, coped with it quite well. You know, he gave as good as he got. He was tying him up when he came close, not getting mauled too much, and some shots were getting through from Chisora. He landed a couple of good overhand rights, and Wilder just took the shot, bounced it off his chin, and smiled back, so he didn't look hurt. A lot of people are saying Wilder's chin's gone, but actually, I'd beg to differ because he took some big right hands that Chisora's ironed a few people out with that shot and really hurt him in the past. And Wilder just smiled and bounced it off his chin. But as the fight went on, round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, much of the same, but Chisora was just getting a little bit more distance, giving himself a little bit more room. Chisora was slowing down. Wilder was managing to just line that right hand up. And as Chisora come in low, he was just taking his feet back a little bit wider and he threw the uppercut a couple of times, landed that nicely. And then he threw the right hand a couple of times, side of the head, round the side of the head, straight down the middle. And Chisora was bouncing shots off his chin and off the top of his head, and I think he was losing the rounds. Very close rounds. Chisora was just about losing the rounds because Wilder was a little bit more accurate and a little bit more easy on the eye. The eye-catching moments came from Wilder. But into round 8, and I thought the fight could be stopped here. I mean, somehow Chisora ended up through the ropes and out the ring. I think more than once or twice that happened. It's all a bit of a blur and a bit of a confusion, but I just know that round 8 was a bad round for Chisora. Deontay Wilder managed to time him, back him up, hit him with a right hand. Don't know if it was a counter punch, but he caught him with a good right hand. It was in the middle of the ring, actually. He caught him with a right hand. And then Chisora, like he does, he plays possum sometimes. He backed himself up, kept leaning back and walking backwards. He looked hurt, but same old thing. He probably was a little bit hurt, but also playing possum, because if he sits back and waits and times his opponent, he could throw a sneaky right hand over the top. But Deontay Wilder's too cute, too experienced for that. So he backed him up. And as Chisora sat on them ropes in the corner, he was sort of in the corner on the ropes, big right hand down the middle, overhand right hook, just clumping him on the head. And I thought, this is dangerous. Chisora was already hurt, and then he somehow managed to get pushed or punched or both through the ropes. And it was on the floor outside the ropes, and the referee was counting. I mean, you've got 20 seconds if you're outside the ropes. His feet were sort of in the ring and his arse was on the canvas, but he got up and he got back in the ring. That was a bad round for him, a 10-8 round, and I don't know if it was the same round or the next round. Chisora Wilder got a point taken off him, so it was pandemonium, it was chaos. But when you take a step back and have a look at it, you just say to yourself, Deontay Wilder was winning the fight. He was catching Chisora with the cleaner shots. He was controlling the pace a little bit better. Chisora not really landing anything clean or clinical. It was just messy and scrappy and mauly, and he got tired as it got on as well. I mean, fair play to both of them. They both went the distance, both went 12 rounds. So anyway, after round 8, which was terrible for Chisora, not a great deal happened. It was much of the same as what happened early on. It was Chisora just trying to walk down Wilder. Wilder giving himself a little bit more room. The pace had slowed, and Deontay Wilder was landing the more clean, clinical shots. One of the judges, Phil Edwards, was obviously also a referee, but not on this night. It was judging. He had the fight scored for Chisora. I think it was 116, 112. So he saw the fight for Chisora, and you can't argue with that. Well, you can argue with it, but you can't complain too much because it was such a hard fight to score. It was close. It was messy. Even the commentary was saying, "Look, I don't have to score this fight. It's just." It ebbed and flowed, and no one really landed any clean shots to the naked eye. But to my eye, the right man won. Deontay Wilder was landing the cleaner blows, so Deontay Wilder deserved to get his hand raised at the end. It was a messy fight from start to finish. The big moments came from Deontay Wilder. He looked like he hurt Chisora. He even said in there at one stage, I think he hit him with 2 shots. And I think he said to him, I love you, like as if I don't want to hurt you. And he sort of backed off. And in his post-fight reaction, Wilder strangely did say, I said I don't want to hurt him. You're my brother, I love you. You know, we're both men of God, and I don't want to be damaging you. You've got kids to get back to, which is all right and it's all fair. And he's bang on what he's saying, and fair play to him. Did he take his time? Did he pull the power? Did he not try and get him out of there? I'm not so sure about that, because when you're in there and you're in the moment as a professional boxer, you're trying to get your opponent out of there. So maybe he did take his foot off the gas, maybe he didn't. But like I've said, the right man won. Derek Chisora got beat by Deontay Wilder in quite an entertaining fight. It was watchable. I enjoyed it. There was moments where I was on the edge of my seat shouting, like, move your head to Chisora. He was just getting teed off on at stages. Definitely round 8. But yeah, it ticked a box. They both had 50 fights. I think Wilder can come again, and Wilder certainly will come again. We'll get into that in a minute. But Derek Chisora, for me, I think has to now retire, hang his gloves up, leave it there. He's given excellent service to boxing. He's been entertaining. He's been great value. But I think now, for the sake of his future and his health and his family and his little kids, he needs to just turn it in and just finish with professional boxing. Right, so after that little tussle, that little dust up at the O2, let's have a look at what's next for both fighters, starting with Deontay Wilder. Now, Wilder's 40 years old. He's lost a couple of his last fights, lost to Parker and Zhilei Zhang, etc. And you look at that and say he's past his best, he's finished, he's 40. He's not looking good anymore, not looking the ferocious, explosive puncher that he used to look like. So you need to pick his opponent wisely. I don't think you can chuck him in there with anybody like Ajit Kabiel, Certainly not Moses Atama. I know he's still learning Atama and he's still got to get his chin checked. We don't know how good he is till he gets punched on the chin properly by someone who can actually fight. And Alexander Usyk, I mean, you can't put him in with people like that because, for me, it's a mismatch. He's past his best. He's not good enough. These guys are too good for him. But he just wants the money, probably. He just wants to get paid. That's why he's in the game. He's had that epic trilogy with Tyson Fury, and now he wants some money. And the obvious money fight is the guy that was there last night, Anthony Joshua. After the fight yesterday, when Deontay Wilder walked from the ring, AJ was stood there looking a bit weird and a bit like confused, like, am I going to do anything? Am I not going to do anything? And Wilder, I think, said, let's do it next. Let's do it. Let's get it on. And AJ just sort of, he didn't say much. I think he might have said, you don't want this or something to them lines, but never really tried to get the fight going. I think AJ's got this thing in his head where I don't think he's sure of himself. If he thinks about fighting Deontay Wilder, does he believe he can actually beat him? Because he's not boxed since September 24 when he got splattered by Dubois. And when I say he's not boxed, because since then he's fought that idiot Jake Paul. I mean, come on. He went in there and just beat Jake Paul up, give us a little bit of a show, didn't he? But for getting on for 2 years, he's not had a meaningful fight. And that meaningful fight, he got done bad. Face planting. You know what I mean? Where's he going to get his confidence from? And I know it's past his best Deontay Wilder, but I honestly don't think that Anthony Joshua believes in himself enough. Eddie Hearn will be telling him that's the fight, because he's right. Eddie knows how to make money. He's a businessman and he's a top promoter. And he'll be saying, look, Deontay Wilder's the fight for you. He's still a big name. He's now come off the back of a win against Chisora, so he's fresh in the mind of everybody. But I don't know if AJ believes he can beat Deontay. Well, maybe he does. Maybe he wants to come back. Maybe he wants to fight again. But what happens in that fight? Anthony Joshua in one corner, Deontay Wilder in the other corner. They come together in the centre of the ring. What happens? I honestly can't say what happens. I think if Deontay Wilder throws a couple of meaningful right hands and connects on AJ's chin, then the fight's over. AJ will be knocked out. He's got to fight confident in that fight. He's got to get behind the jab. He's got to put shots together. And Wilder looks like he still can tee up and load up with that right uppercut and that right hand. And if he connects on AJ's chin, it could be game over. Let me know what you think in the comments. But for me, that's a great fight. It's a fight I want to see. I think it will sell. It's a big one. So Eddie Hearn advising AJ to take the Wilder fight or to push for the Wilder fight is probably good advice. But I'm not so sure it's one that Anthony Joshua himself actually fancies. If I speak from my heart, I'm being totally honest, I don't think AJ fancies that fight. Don't get me wrong, he'll jump in and have a go, but that's the fight for Wilder. Try and get AJ in there and because that's a big money fight. He'll get paid well, and it's a fight he can win. As for Derek Chisora, after that night, after that 12-round grueling contest with Deontay Wilder, definitely 100% for me, time to retire. But I need to give him a mention on what a fantastic career he's had. Okay, he's fought a lot of big top names and he's never been a world champion. But his service to boxing has been so good. He started out as a bad boy as well. Let me give you some names. I wrote a little list of names here. He fought Tyson Fury 3 times. He fought Vitaly Klitschko. Remember when he gave him that slap around the chops? Bosh, get that down here. At the press conference all the way and slapped him straight across the chops. I mean, it was a bit of a bad boy and people wouldn't warm to him to start with. Then all of a sudden, it became the man of the people. He got the tube to the O2 yesterday. He's definitely loved. I mean, I think he's great, I've got to be honest. Vitaly Klitschko, big slap. Alexander Usyk, that was Usyk's first fight at heavyweight, and he took him the distance. Dillian Whyte twice. The first fight, a lot of people thought he won. He got beat in the second fight, got knocked out quite bad. But the first fight, I mean, that could have gone either way. So that's Dillian Whyte twice. David Haye, he was in with that fight. They had that dust up at the press conference after the Klitschko fight. Haymaker put a shot into him. He said he glassed him, and then a few other silly things got said. Nothing ever came of that. I mean, Haye ended up managing him later on in his career and building him up a little bit, which was great. So Joseph Parker, Ajit Kabiao, I was at ringside for that fight. I've been at ringside for quite a few of these fights, actually. Joseph Parker, if I mentioned him. Joe Joyce, that's probably one of his best wins, Joe Joyce. He beat Joe Joyce. And now Deontay Wilder. So the list of them names is just, it's a proper top list of the who's who of boxing. There's names there that you just know are top quality fighters that really he should be, if he's going to go in there with them, if he's not a very good boxer, Derek Chisora, he's getting beat. But he goes the distance a lot with a lot of these guys. He gives them all a hard night's work. I mean, he's been knocked out a couple of times, don't get me wrong. And that's another reason why I think he should retire, because at 40 years old, when you've been knocked out a few times, you've been heavily concussed, and you're taking shots now because you can't move your head and your feet like you used to, that's another reason to reinforce my statement that he should definitely retire. But I'm giving the guy his credit. He's fought everybody. He shied away from no one, and he gives them all a fight. So fair play to him. And after that Deontay Wilder fight, it would have been nice, wouldn't it, to see Derek Chisora win the Deontay Wilder fight, to come out there victorious. I know one of the judges had him winning, but the other two had him lost. So he lost a split decision, but he can go out of the game with his chin held high, knowing that he's had a great career. And I bet he's made a few quid as well. The old bunts has been stacking up in the old bank account, which I hope he has. I hope he's made plenty of money. He's been in some big fights. And he's also got a young family. He's got a boy, he's got 2 girls. You can often see one of his daughters in the ring with him after. And let me tell you something, as a father of 2 girls and a boy myself, that's the most important thing. Your health and your family, and being there for them as a father. And I can see he's a great dad. Just by the way he talks about his kids, his wife's there as well, his missus is there quite often, and it just looks like he's got a lovely family. And is somebody that I admire massively, and it'd be horrible to see him get hurt now in a boxing ring. So 50 fights, he's had a fantastic career. Fair play, Derek Chisora. Bow out now after that great fight at the O2, and don't get that itch, because you've done everything you need to do in the world of professional boxing. So good luck to him, and all the very best. So before I wrap, just want a couple of mentions. Lauren Price defended a world title. She's unified champ. She's got Rob McCracken in her corner, the guy that led me to my multiple world champions and eventually becoming a Hall of Famer. But this ain't about me. This is about Lauren Price. She's defended her titles in style. It's quite a tough fight, but she did what she had to do to get the job done. She wore white and she was covered in claret at the end of the fight, but she's a great fighter. I've met her a couple of times as well. I have to get her on the channel soon, but well done, Rob McCracken. Well done, Lauren Price. The takeaway from that is Clarissa Shields jumped in the ring after. What a fighter she is. Probably one of the best females to lace up the boxing gloves. If that fight happens, that's a great fight, great opportunity for Lauren Price. Well done, and all the very best to you in the future. And also on the card of the Chisora Wilder fight was Vidal Riley, a fan of the channel. We've had him on the channel before. We had a little chat with him, and he's British champion. He's now European champion. He beat Masterneck. Masterneck is quite an old boy, but very experienced European champion. So Vidal Riley was challenging him for his European title. And it was a good fight, a good 12-round fight. Riley looked really, really solid from round 1 right through to round 12. He was boxing well, great footwork, good head movement, nice jab. Took a couple of little shots as well, so he showed he can tough it out in there. And all right, he's in against an old man, but an old, experienced man who was actually European champion. So, you know, I wasn't 100% sure about Vidal Riley, but I think he's got potentially a great future. So hopefully he'll get a world title shot very soon. Well done to him. Right, so that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. Thanks for tuning in. Next week, we've got Tyson Fury back out of retirement again, fighting Makhmudov. Looking forward to that one. I'll be there. I'll be watching that. We'll do my usual preview, build-up fight. Well, John Fury might be there. I wonder if he's going to start any aggro. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, and we'll just have to wait and see what Tyson Fury's got left. We'll be doing a pre-fight and a post-fight reaction to the action down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Looking forward to it. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything, and we'll see you very soon. God bless.